definitely. And by the way,
instead of h4, f4.
the player said, "Let's go."
What do you play?
I don't know. I'm
Rook
just saying.
c6 or what?
I'm saying they started.
I see.
Yes, rook c6 is still
Wow.
winning.
Okay.
What do you
And we
do
have a
when
modern. I mean, what else, right?
Indian. What do you do when you need a win with black?
Wow.
You
King's
play a King's Indian.
Yeah.
You don't believe it, but okay, you want an imbalance and you want the pieces on the board. Queen e8.
And then you play some funny moves, such as queen e8, and then you hope that your opponent is out of theory. Add some
Tricky
practicality to it.
He's not ready to give up so easily. Yes,
But
even though.
Queen e8, you're getting a
Well,
Well, the
bad
problem is if you go
position.
e5, I'm going to take on e5. Good luck winning that.
By the way, e5. Not even allowing you this opportunity.
Knight d7. It's okay.
Knight d7, knight to d5. I'm assuming knight a6.
Watch
Bishop
out
to
for
g5.
c5 and bishop a6. Okay, maybe
We
it's
just
too
took
much.
on.
Look, Fabiano has been in a must-win situation before against Levon
Yes.
in the blitz portion. He did not manage to win that with black pieces, but he did put some problems, if you remember. And that game went all the way until the last few seconds for
Exactly.
both players. So
Right.
anything still can happen. Wesley in pole position.
I like this queen d8.
Nonetheless.
I
Right.
agree. Yes, okay. Queen does nothing
This
there.
feels like an Alekine variation
It does.
gone wrong.
With this
Right. A really bad
e6.
Right?
A few
I mean,
tempest.
if you put the knight on b6, you would say to yourself, yeah, this was an
This,
Alekine's
exactly, yes.
variation.
b3 sometimes, or after
And
rook c1.
Normally, the rook is on
B3,
c1, the
because
pawn is on b3.
If you play rook c1, maybe d5. This was his idea.
I think it was Bobby Fischer, amongst many others, who have shown that this pawn construction after rook c1 and d5 really favors white strongly. And big shout out to Mickey Adams. Mickey Adams, too, has played these structures incredibly well as black.
Isn't it funny, Yasser? How can you transfer from King's Indian to Alekhine?
Exactly.
I mean, I've never seen something like this in my life.
Yeah, transpositions come from all kinds of crazy directions. H2, H3. It's a reminder that if you had it in mind that you wanted to play e6 and knight e7, just keep in mind that g4 might
Still,
trap
he
the
does
bishop.
play. He plays e6.
Wow, that's a
G4.
challenge. What do you do? Let's have a look.
Bishop
G4, bishop, and should I? May I ask the question?
Can I take on d4?
Maybe you can.
Oh no!
How do you take on d4?
Maybe knight takes d4.
enough is
By the way,
queen
queen to
d2.
d2 is on the board.
Right. No.
Wesley's like, no.
No. We're
not going
I
into
don't
this
go for
crazy
all the
complication.
tricks, yes.
I don't need to win the game. I need to draw the game. G4, if he had to win.
Could have been an
By
interesting
the way,
attempt, yes.
Bobby says,
H5.
you know, the bishop does deserve a little protection. H5, bishop H6. This is like one of the few times in the tournament where you play bishop E3, queen D2, and you actually trade
The bishops.
the bishops. It's like people have been avoiding trading the bishops, but I like this move. Knight E7, what else? Bring that knight. Maybe he's afraid of
a5.
knight to B5 and knight to D6 when
That's
the knight
why
gets...
he played knight.
Why did he play a5? though?
No
That's my
idea.
question. Maybe just to make a move.
Yes.
To be honest, you don't know what you're going to do. Your clock is running down. You have to make a move.
Yes.
Something to be said for A3, knight B5, and
Bishop b5.
bishop to B5.
He's looking at potentially
now,
taking
by the
a
way,
knight d5.
we've gone from King's Indian to Alekhine to Caruana.
Yes.
Many times in the Caruana, you see this move C5, bishop B5. You capture the knight, and you plant the knight on E5.
That's what he's going for.
But you see here, knight was removed from c8, and now knight b5 was the idea to put the knight on d6.
Another idea is to play knight to E5, trade, take with the D4 pawn, plant the knight on D4. Black experiences very, very uncomfortable position.
Maybe time to go
Bishop
for queen
b4?
f6. No.
Rook B8, an indication small indication he's looking to play B6.
This is looking good for Wesley, guys.
This knight E5, and I
No, I
think
think he
it's
just
a
wanted to
strategic
protect
splat.
b7. I think he wanted to protect b7 pawn.
You think that?
Yes, and after knight d6, he will move his queen f6.
Queen
Yes, that's what.
F6.
You see, I
I
started
think-
to feel what Fabi wants.
I
Bishop
think
h3 is this threat.
95
So
Big
knight
threat.
d5,
Yes.
strategic splat. This is just resigns.
I mean, doesn't look good. Yes.
Doesn't look good. What are the understatements? I like
yeah,
that.
I mean, you cannot get rid of this
Doesn't
knight except if you give the rook
good.
for this knight.
Oh no!
What?
Rook takes.
Rook takes.
That is a shock. Remember, everybody, knights improve. They increase their power the more they're defended. D takes e5, securing the knight on d6, prepping queen takes a5. I think strategically it's gone. Rook takes e5.
Rook e5 is pretty good too. I mean,
Yeah,
you are winning.
You're winning,
matter
but,
what.
But if that pawn were on e5, b6 would have been
Queen
met by
takes
Queen
c6.
takes a5. Oh my god.
Rook takes e5, h4.
Queen g5 with
Queen
some.
takes a5.
Even you don't threaten bishop h3. Yes, rook is on the5. f6 you threaten, and then
The
perhaps.
rook moved to d1.
the problem with f6, I just simply take on f5 first.
Yes, that's a problem.
That's
Queen
a check.
c7 is also a big
That's a check. Queen c7. This
No,
is
I mean,
strategically
position
gone.
is really
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah. And by the way,
Rook d8,
materially,
creating b6. I
Correct.
mean, even not creating, because again, knight f5 is.
it's check. Here, queen d2, retreat with a gain of a tempo. Would
That's
you
what
like
you
to
do.
trade queens? No, thank you.
H5.
What
Queen
about
h5.
time?
It's time to
Same.
go a4, a5, b4, b5. Let's go.
I think it's time to go home.
It's time to go home. I would have played a4 in that last moment.
Right
Not
now,
that
if
it's
Wesley is
rook to c1, rook a8, rook c1. Wesley is saying, I'm just going to get behind the pawn. Rook a3. Pardon me, I want to
E3.
play b5 and c6 when I say get behind the pawn. Rook e3, rook a8.
Fabi is trying to play fast, at least to get his chances.
well, Wesley's down to his last 20 seconds.
Yes, so
but
that's his strategy right now. What else you can do?
Right?
Yes, you have to play fast and hope.
I was
that
about
maybe
to
a
suggest
chance.
b5 and c6. Wesley first played the move queen f4 in preparation. And 10 seconds for Fabi.
Yeah, suddenly.
Queen e5
it's-
followed by knight e8 might be problematic
Queen
as well.
e2, inviting a trade of queens.
b5.
B5.
b5. Queen e5 check is in the pocket.
Rook takes
Okay,
a2.
two.
We expect c6 now.
c6, yes. Queen e5 check. Just trade queens so that I can make a queen.
Queen h4. No.
A pawn grabber.
Yes, and
Look at
queen
that.
d2,
Queen
threatening the
takes
rook.
h4.
That is a true
Threatening-
pawn grabber.
With that, who would do that?
Bishop d3. Look at
Who
this.
would do that? Why?
It's a very strange decision
Yes.
by Wesley, I have to say.
What, is it some kind of mate? I
Mate?
don't think so.
I don't see the mate, guys. And if you don't get
Opa, bishop f1.
knight c8, where's...
I can't
Oh, he
believe
has
it.
perpetual.
He has
found the
perpetual.
perpetual.
Wow.
How do you play queen takes h4 in that
Cannot believe
moment?
it.
Oh my
He
They're
found
goodness.
so strong,
Perpetual.
these guys. They're so strong. I mean,
That
they can
is
see.
crazy.
How did he find that
I
perpetual?
have no